being transformed by the death and resurrection of Jesus, and not be ruled or dominated by the deceptive demands that surround us. Letting go of the cares and pleasures of this world gives us a perspective we must maintain on eternity. There is a close relationship between addiction and emotional immaturity. Individuals who fall into addiction or pornography often do so because they feel unable to manage their feelings. This means developing emotional sobriety and, as St. Paul says, being connected to something spiritual. This world that we see is temporary, and this one too will pass. 2. Time must be seen as connected to God. St. Paul in our second reading says, "Life is short." Jonah in our first reading preaches in Nineveh within 40 days, and in the Gospel we read, "Immediately they left the nets." The word time does not come from chronos, as do hours and days, but of kairos, which means critical time. Kairos doesn't tell us what time it is. It tells us what the time we have is for. Our time on earth should be to serve the Lord, helping the oppressed, the lonely, the forgotten, and thus demonstrate our love for God. Jesus promises his followers a type of advanced fishing for the benefit and salvation of others. 3. Our behavior is called to a continuous connection with God. Can we learn from the example of the Ninevites? 629. Can we completely turn our lives around when we have been warned? We receive implicit and explicit warnings. Our own bodies give us advance warning of health problems, just as doctors warn us about habits that are harmful to the body. In human relationships we also receive implicit and explicit advance warnings. Jonah walked through the city for her to a guide. By Paul Andrew. Summary. Psalm 23. Fourth Sunday of Easter. Our responsorial psalm for this day, Psalm 23, is very personal. There are no references to we, our, or them, but only to my, me, I, and your. This is the testimony of King David, of his personal experience with God. In our Gospel we hear, "I am the door